Freedom is all there is, my friends. It is everything, is the whole ball game, is the whole enchilada, and your life and love. Other than those three things, everything is so petty that we're experiencing in this life. Freedom is everything, my friends. I'm going to tell you why I got arrested, what happened in the court, and what happened in my 14 days being tortured and having my rights violated, and what's next. And I want to say thank you to all my family, my friends who supported me, Bernadette, Howard, Gene, Mike, Tim, Craig, Andres, Christy, everybody, man. All you guys, Jason, unbelievable amount of support out there for freedom, and I'm grateful. And so this is why I'm going to proceed and explain what happened so you know what's going on. And what they did to me is just a matter of time till they do to other people, right? And because we're in a race between freedom consciousness and obedience consciousness or slave consciousness. It's freedom or slavery, my friends. That's where everything is going. So it's not about left, right any longer. It doesn't matter Republican, Democrats. It's about freedom or slavery and who owns your body. And I'm so honored that you guys appreciate what I've been doing for the last year, the last few years. And my car got towed multiple times over the past year for my right to travel activism because I found out that I'm not a commercial driver and I don't have a motor vehicle as defined in their own codes. So I've been exercising my freedoms, and just in the last year, they start to really crack down, and there's more histories, but I want to share what happened on June 30th because this is where it all began, and that's when I was kidnapped by Santa Cruz County Sheriff deputies. They're in the courtroom unexpectedly. So I went into court to do a trial readiness conference because I have some vehicle code violations and misdemeanors according to their own rules and laws. So, okay, let's go to trial. I want to go and examine these facts, examine the definitions, examine what is really going on when you guys are the sworn public officials to protect my rights. So, I was in the court, and Judge Nancy de la Pena said, okay, well, here's the charges, and then she deferred to the assistant district attorney, Brian Pearson, and all of a sudden, they said, oh, yeah, there's new charges. And they said, oh, yeah, this got served on you. I said, I haven't seen any paperwork. And so she sent some runner to go get the paperwork, the new complaints, and the new complaints came. And during that time, just kind of dead silence in the courtroom, and we're waiting and waiting. And I'm saying, how do you guys morally justify what you're doing? I've harmed nobody. I've threatened nobody. Yet you guys are all making money in here, and I'm not. So please, can anybody justify the violence you're using against a peaceful man? I'm the one being forced to be here. I'm here under threat of my life. I'm afraid to be in this courtroom. And they didn't reply. And then, even before that, I could say I handed them my fee schedule with invoices to the assistant district attorney, deputy city attorney, and the judge. And that is for forcing me to be here. There's a fee involved because I value my time. My life is just time, just like your life. So here's the value, and here's what I put on it. So I got my fee schedule notarized, and I hand delivered it to him with invoices totaling over $200,000 a piece for various violations. And that was even before we got into these new charges that they're going to bring up. So the runner comes in, gives me some paperwork, and then The assistant district attorney says, yeah, so we're going to charge Mr. Rodriguez with felony vandalism and felony forgery of DMV documents. And of course, anytime you hear felony, now you're like, what is this? How did this go get so serious? Well, about 3 weeks earlier, they had towed my car, and it's on video what they did. They came up and said, yeah, we're towing your car. They just, put the tow truck there. And I said, where is the warrant? Where's the authority that you guys have? And on video, one of the sergeants from Santa Cruz Police Department said, we don't need a warrant. I said, okay. I said, you're violating your Fourth Amendment to seize or search persons or property. This is, you swore an oath. And he said, I'm going to violate your Fourth Amendment. I'm going to violate your friend's Fourth Amendment over there. And by that point, I was actually on the back of the tow truck because I'm a peaceful guy. I'm not going to use violence against these people. It's not going to solve the problem, and it's going to be more trouble. So that happened, and then I'm trying to reason with these cops, and say, how do you morally justify what you're doing here, guys? I have no contract with you. I've harmed nobody, and you're stealing my property. And so they continued, and then one of the cops went on the truck after me to grab me. And so I kind of moved to the front of the truck and carefully on the cab, kind of just escaped from, being kidnapped there. Is what it felt to me. And then I put my foot right there on the edge, and that's where the felony vandalism came from. And the funny thing is that the next day, it's not even funny, dude. Nothing about this is funny, man. Let me clarify. The interesting part of it is that the next day I went to pick up my tow truck. I'll pick up the car from the tow truck company. And the guy, the owner, said, oh, I'm going to sue you. I said, why? He says, oh, you damaged my truck. I said, let me see. So we go out to his truck, and he's like, it's right there. And I say, where? And so I got video very close. There's like a little quarter-inch, little small dent, right? And I saw that there, and I said, well, can we settle it? He says, nope. And he used his middle finger. He says, I'm going to sue you. I said, okay. I said, yesterday I gave you a way out, man, because I gave the tow driver, I said, a verbal warning multiple times. I said it's a $15,000 fee to take my car without permission. And I said, I do not consent. He says, I don't need a way out. I'm the victim. I'm like, okay. So that's all on video, and we'll release some of these clips if you haven't seen them. And so that was the felony vandalism, okay? Incidental content. By the way, this is called Fruit of the Poison Tree, whereas the only reason I was on his roof is because they were stealing my car. So if somebody comes up and steals your phone or your purse or something, and then you fight back and, punch them in the face or something, they can't sue you for damages because they initiated it. If they didn't try to steal your purse or phone, then you wouldn't have to defend yourself. So if these guys didn't take my car without authority or paperwork, contract, I wouldn't behave in a way that caused me to make a very small dent in the truck. So that was the first one. The second one was felony forgery of DMV documents, which this is my private plates on my car. Okay, and the private plates look nothing like a California plate. There was no registration tag on there. Okay, so it seems that I am being targeted, my friends, for my activism, the stuff we're doing on the beaches, and stuff we participate in grocery stores, exercising our freedoms, and raising the conversation about right and wrong. And so immediately those charges were placed on me, and the judge says, so how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? And I said, Your Honor, how do you morally justify what you're doing here? You're threatening me. I haven't harmed anybody. I've threatened nobody. And so at that point, she says, I'm having doubts about your competency. I said, okay, that doesn't sound good. And then what they did is they suspended the criminal charges till I can get some competency tests. And then they appointed me a public defender immediately. So I went from presenting myself in court to now having someone else um, represent me. And then they tried to remand me, the district attorney there. So they want to make a motion to remand me. And then everybody left the court so I could talk to my public defender, and they're telling me here's what's going to happen. And he says, he said, what do they want to do? He says, they want to take you into custody. I say, oh my gosh. Okay, so then they came back, and the public defender did his best to persuade the judge to not remand me. And the judge says no. And so there, with all my computers on the desk there in the courtroom, paperwork and everything, and it's all right, we're taking you into custody. And that was how they took me into custody right there. And I spent the next 14 days in a cell. Some days never getting out of the cell. It was torture, my friends, and very painful experience. And one of the lessons is that freedom is all there is. Okay, it is everything. It is all of it. And you and I are in the middle of the Great Freedom Awakening, or accurately called the Great Self-Ownership Awakening. We're transcending the left-right paradigm and the control mechanisms that has controlled humanity for a long time. And the truth is that we're all equal, and nobody has the right to force or coerce or intimidate you or me. And people are sick of it. Through many places throughout the country, I know some places are less concerned about it. They're not aware of geopolitics and plans of Agenda 21 and really how the world is working right now. But it's too strong. The awakening is too strong, and it's just starting to get going. And I've seen it with my own eyes in New Hampshire, in Arizona, in Mexico, Florida. It is powerful, and humanity is starting to rise. And there's a great quote that says, they tried to bury us, but they didn't know that we were seeds. Or they tried to put water on the fire, and they didn't realize they poured gasoline. So this is what's happening, and thankfully, I took the competency test, and I was deemed competent, and now it's about labeling me in a recent article as an anti-vaxxer. My friends, have I ever told you that I am an anti-masker or anti-vaccine? I'm not none of that. I am freedom of choice. I respect your power and authority to choose what you do to your body. So understand is that what they try to do the media is put you in a light that is to their agenda of divide and conquer. And reality is that these cops, they don't know what they're doing, and they're not part of the club. They think they are, but they're just on the lower level. And so they're victims of politicians just like me and you. And now we're in a court case. I got these court cases. And so out here in Santa Cruz, we're going to have a confirmation examination hearing, is called, I believe, on the 23rd, July, 9 o'clock. Come on down if you want to participate and learn and see what's going on down there. And then the preliminary hearing is on Monday, the 26th. So that's a little bit what happened. The support that I got from you guys and just talking to my friend through the phone at the jail was amazing. There's no internet in jail. There's no email. It's intentionally hard to get information out, and what you guys did was amazing. So we have an opportunity to expose the violence of this organization and organizations even in your city and town. You know, it's not okay that they use coercion and intimidation against peaceful people. So, I hope you will continue to, stay tuned and join me with what I'm doing, and come out if you can on those dates. Um, we've submitted paperwork, and so, I'm getting some help with the law stuff. And also, some of you guys donated. Man, that was amazing. So thank you for that. I will use it judiciously and responsibly, and we want to put the light on the scenario, because I know right to travel stuff is one issue, but the real issue is using violence against peaceful people. And they have all these codes and statutes and all these things, and it's like the government is like a homeless person that comes up to you and says, "Hey, you owe me money because of the contract we have." And you say, "What contract?" And you're like, "This contract right here." And you're like, "I didn't sign it." And he says, "Well, you still got to use it. You still got to give it to me." We're like, "No, you're just a homeless guy. We're going to ignore you." But then he pulls out a gun, and you're like, "Oh, okay, you're going to use violence against me? I guess I will comply." And the essential part of freedom, and even the perspective idea of legitimate government, is the consent of the governed. So that's from the Declaration of Independence. So it says the just powers of government come from the consent of the governed. So if you didn't consent, if I didn't consent, can some homeless guy just run up on us and say we're bound to this contract? That's not what it is, my friends. Humanity is remembering its rights that come from the creator or source or humanity. But if you didn't create me, you don't have authority over me. If anything, my mom and dad could have authority over me. But people that love you don't want to have authority over you. They want you to be free. They want you to be happy. It's your birthright, my friends. So I'm just gonna kind of conclude right there, and I'll be sharing some of the videos that that will reveal what I'm sharing. And I'm so grateful for you guys who've been following me and support me and send me messages and positive support, comments, and like good energy, because like you, I'm cutting through the consciousness, wherever I go, trying to raise the frequency and energy in a positive, empowering way. I want you guys to have a great life. I want your kids to have a great life. This is why, I help kids, get out of the school system, and with the homeschooling and accelerated graduations and these things, and, with John Taylor Gatto's work, and also, he passed away a few years, and rest his soul in power. I also had a recent friend, a legend, Jackie Fig, pass away last week unexpectedly, and so we get to remember how precious life is. My friend, today's the only day. If you're trying to make the world a better place for your kids or for the children or the next generations, it is today. And we've been having bonfires and free hugs and yoga and doing everything we can to increase our own self-love, increase the agape love for other people out there, understand that people are under hypnosis, they're under trances, and they're not able to think clearly because of all the programming that's been going on. And even myself, I've been programmed a lot, so I'm detoxing from the messaging that they've given us about who we are, and they try to make us feel really small, but we are the giants within. We're the spiritual beings, and this is part of our adventure, part of our game, our um, opportunity in life. And this is a major opportunity right now to stand behind me and help me get the word out as these videos come out, and inform people around you, because you are the messenger of freedom and peace and love. just like me. And we are winning. Freedom and love are winning. This whole scamdemic, um, lockdowns, violating people's rights, shutting down small businesses, so um, big businesses can win. It's not okay. And it's going to continue until we actually transcend it, stop supporting it, make it obsolete, and we can do it. We can do it. And I want to share a poem with you that I wrote when I was in jail, because you have so much time in there, and they only gave me 2 books. So you're in there with nothing to read. They gave me 2 sheets of paper, and I had a pen. Um, and then they gave me some like puzzles, some like crossword puzzles. Like, no, I want paper. You know, I want to create something. I want to write something. So this is just a little poem that I wrote in there, and this is how it goes. The banksters and the corporate media, working in and above the government, are worrying right now that you will awaken to their agenda. They're threatened by your consciousness. The truth that you're equal to them scares them genuinely. They lay awake at night, trembling that you're getting closer to your full, personal, individual authority. They're terrorized that you could find your gifts and give them to the world, empowering others, impacting people, transforming the earth into a place they no longer control. Their schemes are coming into the light from all edges of the darkness. The race between freedom consciousness and slavery consciousness is happening right now. And there's something in their way that is slowing them down. Something that is bright and powerful, something that is immovable and strong. It is a man, it is a woman. It's part of humanity that is brave and courageous. The relentless spirit for freedom given by our ancestors, the unbeatable energy and steadfast soul upon the earth, the one who causes them to tremble while giving hope to the human race, the loving being who knows its purpose and its true identity. They fear you. That's what they fear, is you coming in to full knowledge of your power and consciousness. And it's happening. It's a spiritual, invisible, conscious awakening. And I got a great quote when I was in jail. Some of the breakthroughs, because you go up and down. It's an emotional roller coaster in there. And the quote is you can jail a free man, but you cannot jail a free spirit. So thanks for listening to my update of why I got kidnapped, how it went down, and yeah, we'll release some of these videos. Come and support us on July 3rd or July 23rd, and stay tuned. We'll have some more communications here on this platform with links. And thank you again for being a champion for freedom out there, because we need you, we need each other. There's safety and strength in numbers, and we're on the right side of history. You know, we're not going to stand around in silence while peaceful people get violated. So by helping me win, you helping yourself win, and I'll share this information as we go continually, because it is that time, my friends. It is time to talk about equality of authority, of human rights, peace, voluntary, consensual relationships. The great self-ownership awakening is here. You know you own your body. I know I own my body. So let's get together, make a peace agreement. Let's exchange products and services in a voluntary way. And let's shine our lights. Let's make the world a better place. And we are doing that right now. So thanks for supporting me, guys. Got a lot of respect for you. I love you guys. And we'll see you on the next update, next video. And yeah, I'll see you on the 23rd, wherever you want to be. But we're building a voluntary world, one relationship at a time. Thanks for joining me on the Freedom Lover Show.